Tomas Cabildo. You still love you. Jesus, you're tall. Hi, guys. Man, it must be exhausting being extroverted. I have no idea how they do it. Like, to enter a conversation and be utterly okay with anything they say. Just being like, I hope you like me. It just seems like a lot of work. I'm sorry. Anyways, I just noticed that because a lot of you are very much like, hey, that was hard. God. Alright, I got that out of my system. Anyways, so my dad, that was a great segue. Did you guys like that?
Yeah.
Loved it. Thank you. So my dad, he's kind of weird, right? He's kind of one of those guys that, if you met him, you'd think he's a mob boss, like retired and also faked his death. He retired and was like, you know what, I want to go the extra effort. His voice more sounds like, you know what, I want to go the extra effort. That's just kind of my dad. But anyways, on to more stories about my father. My dad's very much, I wouldn't say he's like sexist. I wouldn't say he's not though. He's when I was a kid, I used to like to play fighting games, and you guys ever played fighting games? There's female characters and stuff like that, and they would always wear like pretty scantily. I don't know how they fight in these things. They're Hadoukening and doing split kicks, and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cool game. But yeah. So my dad, he would not let us fight the female fighters. Which I don't know if you know how these kind of games work. Let me just explain it to you because that's obviously what you want to hear. But what happens is basically you have to go through a tower of some sort of fighting tournament. Usually a big bad guy's like, oh, I'm going to destroy the world with punches. And then you fight up until you fight the guy with punch power to destroy the world. And there'd always be like a female fighter you'd have to fight. You'd have to go through it. You just got to beat the woman. But my dad would watch us like very intently. Like he would stare at the screen just. And I'd be like, Dad, what are you doing? And he'd be like, I'm just making sure you're staying with God. And the female fighter would come on, and my dad would be like, skip it. I can't skip it, Dad. I have to fight this person in order to fight the punch dude. And he would be like, okay, close your eyes. I'm like, I can't Hadouken and Shoryuken shit out of this, out of nothing, and fucking make it with it. My eyes closed. There's buttons that need to, but whatever. Fine. I'll close my eyes. So I did. And as I got older, I asked my dad. I was like, yeah, I like whenever we play fighting games, like you'd always say that we have to like close our eyes when we're fighting women. What's wrong with that? And me being a young kid, I would think the answer would be like, oh, you never hurt women. It's wrong, it's against godly things, but his response was, women can't fight. I was like, that's a great thing to tell your 12-year-old son. That is very impressionable to a lot of different things. But my dad, he wasn't good at giving us dating advice either. His famous things that he would tell me, I'd ask about women and he'd be like, never touch a woman. And I'd be like, why not? You're married. And he's like, that's different. That's not, okay. But his thing was, he would always tell me that women are only as strong as their man. And I was like, dude, come on, once again, it's a little bit sexist. Like I said, my dad's kind of sexist. Where was I going with that? Yeah, that is a good point. My dad would have liked that point. My dad would have definitely liked that point. But anyways, obviously it didn't, lead me up to great success with dating women, obviously. My first girlfriend, was kind of horrible, like in a lot of different ways. And like, I'll just tell you, I mean, like she cheated on me, she did all kinds of things. She faked a pregnancy, which that took a lot of work to do that. Like a lot of work. Like she would find, like, what do they call the sonographs? What, I don't know, I'm dumb. Yeah, fanny pack. Yeah, that was it. Sonograph, yeah. But she would find them, and she would show them to me and be like, oh, this is our baby. And I'd be like, why does it have TM on the bottom? But I figured I was dumb and in love that I was like, it's nothing. But, you know, you do stupid things. So obviously that one didn't work out, if you couldn't guess. But, you know, I tried dating again and, you know, kind of trying to be like, you know what, the dad stuff, that's wrong, you know. Gotta be more open, gotta be more things. But no, it just sucks dating, I think. I think it's just a shitty thing to do. You know, just relationships are kind of crappy. Because you always have to tell someone where you're going. And granted, my last relationships were very controlling, so I have a very skewed kind of framework I'm working off now. But every time I've been in one, it's always been like, where are you going? Where are you? Why is there 30,000 fucking text messages on my phone right now? You know, this is sounding a lot more depressing than it actually should be. But I'm just telling you my life experiences. And so, I had one good girlfriend. She was awesome. She was nice, she was caring, she was supportive, you know, cared about my dreams, I cared about hers. The only thing is she had a kid. And I fucking hated that kid. The kid was awful. The kid was terrifyingly awful. She would literally scream in a room for like 30 minutes straight just because she wanted ice cream. And I was like, that's not a normal thing kids should do. But then again, I was a shitty kid too, so I let it slide for a little while. But the thing that really got me, the thing that really fucked me over in the head, was one night she wrote with a knife, "Kill Tomas." In my eyes, it means, I don't think this kid likes me. So, me being the very nice person I am, I went up to her and I was like, why did you write that? And she said, the voices told me to do it. And then I realized that the kid might have a demon next to her. And that opened up a whole slew of possibilities of random paranormal movies that I've watched. Or I'm like, I'm definitely the guy who dies in this scenario. So obviously it didn't work out. And we broke up. And it was okay, because I didn't tell her that the reason we break up because of her child. I just said it wasn't working out. Not because your demon child was threatening to kill me with a knife she sketched onto a wall. Which should have been a red flag, but I stayed for a little longer. Anyways, yeah, dating sucks, and you know what? Like, both genders, all genders suck. You know, I'm trying to be. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'm a Tomas Cabildo.